this my life? I don't know. But I like it. Yep. Yeah. I think I'm probably going to spend quite a bit of time just sitting here and taking it all in, you know? Hey Google, add buy a couch to my reminders. Cold start? Uh-huh. Yep. This is it. Maybe not a couch, maybe a recliner. Recently purchased, previously original owner, 344 speed Demon, top end annoying startup, cold rattled update. Cylinder 2 intake. All right. That could be it. Looks like lifter's bleeding off. It is springing up. And again, this noise does go away as soon as it runs. It doesn't even have to get hot actually, just as soon as it runs for a bit. So maybe that could be it. Cylinder 4 exhaust. Same. Again, it does spring back, so that tells me it's probably lashed right in the lifter and it's just bleeding off. Okay, I accept that. Now I've been through all the others. Look what I just found here. This is number 8 exhaust. Why doesn't it spring back? Sure seems to me like the shim in here is tight and I have a bleed off issue in that lifter. Well, that can't be good. I don't think binding up in the top end is really what you want. So I guess these are coming off. I should probably check the other side. Oh yeah, and while we're talking about annoying and dumb stuff, note the thermostat leaks. Actually, it kind of looks like the hose leaks. Just why? Okay, so popped all the bolts loose. Even though, you know, you've got spring tension on some of them, these all turn nice, easy, no problem. Arm starts coming up. Tube, I should say. This one's bound up and tight. So, yeah, not good. How'd they not notice this when they put it in? All right, time to have a look at some performance parts. These are nice crane roller rockers. However, you can see here, they had to be clearanced for the valve spring retainers. Now, I haven't built a whole lot of high performance engines. Most of the engines I build are warmed over street engines or factory-ish rebuilds. And I'm not inclined to install these kinds of parts usually. Factory top end stuff is fine when you got under 500 lift and under 5,000 RPM. However, every set of aluminum roller rockers I have ever installed had to be clearanced in that area. I just sold a set the other day that I tried to install on my last 360 performance build, and they would have had to have like a 1/4 inch taken out here to fit. I don't know what springs and retainers they would have been made to work with. So this is common, and I'm not surprised. I do see, despite being clearanced, a little kiss mark there from a retainer, and one small witness mark here. Could that be the noise? I don't know. That scrape looks real minor. It could even be from the clearancing process here, I don't know. But this is the arm that was binding up. It definitely moved free once it was removed from the car. So I tried to slide it off and see if I could see evidence of heat in here. It won't come off the pipe. It won't come off the pipe because that bolt was over torqued, and I think it is oval shaped now. So that's fantastic. Guess I gotta go find some more. I did manage to confirm my suspicion. It was definitely the side-to-side clearance. You can see there it's kind of eating into the cap at the bottom. Maybe it's from being squished down and going crooked. That would make sense. One way or another, though, we got to open that clearance up. You can see here. There you go. Scuffing in there. That's my theory. That would explain it. That's exactly what would happen if the outside of the tube crushed. It would go boop, like that. But the way I'm gonna solve it, work this arm off somehow, maybe light sanding on the end, grind the spacer, just a skosh, so these move freely again. And then torque these down correctly. Try not to bend anything. This engine revs to 6,800 RPM, and we need to be able to get there reliably. So I'm gonna be real careful not to take off too much meat. Just enough that these move freely. That's the plan anyway. Even so, that doesn't really answer the noise question. That's not good. I definitely need to address it, but that wouldn't make that tick. So I'm looking at push rods here, and what do I find? But witness marks. A couple of these sure looked like they were close to the heads. At this point, I'm pretty sure what I need is a whole pack of shims for those rocker arms, and I need to center them up. It sure looked like, well, obviously that one, a couple more were touching, so that also is not good. Guess who literally just 4 days ago sold a set of rocker arms that's been sitting around for years that had the correct shims on them? I don't know why my life is like it is. It just do. Anyway, I did get the arm and spacer off, and there again, obvious wear mark. I'm gonna sand this side smooth, and then I think I'll just massage this a scotch to be sure. I checked under the arms on the other side, and there are wear marks like this, but sure looks worse here, like these have been hot. It also doesn't really look like there's been a whole bunch of oil in there, so probably need to touch that up too. Here we are back on nature's workbench, the floor. I pulled the push rods out, so I could see a few were close, definitely, and saw the wear mark on that other, and I thought, let's pull them out, lay them in order, obviously, and take a look. The 4 that are down are just fine. The 4 that are up have grooves I can feel. That's not just a little contact, that's pretty serious. That could be the noise, but I feel like it probably wouldn't go away. One way or another, that ain't good. That's gonna ruin stuff. So, yeah. Shims. I'm not taking this thing drag racing anytime soon, but I would like to be able to drive it. I'm strongly considering digging into my parts collection, finding some factory rocker shaft setups and push rods, and throwing those in here to get it drivable again in the short term. Ordering a pack of shims, the right size for these comp arms, and doing some science, I guess. Seems like the right thing to do. My last performance engine was a 360 with the same set of heads. And when I bought it, I pulled the covers off and found a set of pink Chinesium roller rockers. They also had clearance issues. They hit the valve retainers. They had not been ground like these, so that's a problem. I took those off, put them in a box, and I installed a set of factory 273 adjustable rocker arms. That worked really well. Of course, I'm fresh out of those. And that engine did not spin to almost 7,000 RPM, so, a little more leeway. Yeah. Gonna have to dig around and see what I can come up with. And I suppose I need to do the same on this side. I'm probably not gonna like what I find. All the noise was over there, so hopefully it's in better shape, but I doubt it. Oh yeah, one more interesting note here. I'm not the one that assembled these, so I really don't know. There are the 5 stands. They go small, big, small, big, small. And then the 4 sets of rockers and the 4 shims in the middle. They appear to be 2 different sizes. Smaller one and a slightly larger one. The way this is configured is small, large, large, small. I assume this is correct or it wouldn't fit within the stands. It's just interesting. They're not the same. Even when I get this sorted out, I'm concerned that collapsing lifters are my actual issue. And knowing what I know about cam failures in this modern age we're stuck living in, I'm not excited about that. For now, I'm gonna deal with what I can see, and we'll see where it gets us. I don't understand why this window sucks so bad. I lubricated it 9 years ago. Today is tomorrow. And both arms on number 1 move. So those lifters aren't exactly holding pressure. They do move freely, that's good. All the other ones seem firm. Nah, just kidding. They were all slightly on lift. Some of them are good. And if we look in here, you can kind of see the pushrod issue. Pretty sure that one's touching. And that one's touching. And that guy. So that is fantastic. You know, I do have to wonder if running these adjustments down might alter that geometry. Oh yeah, it'll make it worse. So, no, that ain't gonna help. Okay, this is interesting. This one is not on the end, and yet it's still binding up. It's not fully returning. I mean, I guess they could have deformed the tube here. Yay. Yeah, other side, rub marks, same deal. This is interesting. There's a pattern. Don't worry about that little guy. My cardboard's floppy. 3 and 1, 3 and 1. There's a pattern on this side too. It's not the same though. I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, got the other side rockers taken apart. They seem to all move free side to side, so I don't think the rocker shaft is flattened on this side in the middle where I had the binding issue. I think it's just a matter of side to side clearance. Interesting here. It looks like there's a rub mark there. I don't think that's from heat. Maybe it's from grinding, but I don't know. And you can see on this one, there's actually the deepest grinding spot of any of them. Kind of have to wonder if maybe that's the first one they noticed was hitting and they just dressed all the other ones to be sure. On this one, almost no material was removed. And that one more was. It kind of varies. And you can look at the stands. Yeah, somewhere. Everything's just a little tight. You know, I've seen these before where the arms just move freely side to side, which isn't necessarily what you want, but you don't want binding and heating in your rocker arms. I mean, that's just asking for trouble and probably asking for flattening cam lobes. So, not good. Did I say comp before? I feel like I did. Crane. These are Crane rockers. They look like nice quality pieces. I'm not necessarily saying anything bad about them. Well, maybe. I mean, they don't line up and the push rods are rubbing on the heads. But this may be an issue with the Edelbrock heads as well. These are meant to fit on stock heads and the Edelbrocks are arranged slightly differently. I know pushrod holes can end up in different locations to try and make room for an intake port. So I think it's more an issue of whoever got both of these parts just bolted them together and didn't check. Oh, also, that stuff came out on the tip of this pushrod. I think it's just silicone. Maybe a rubber O-ring? Not sure. Here you can see number 2 rocker stand where the oil is fed. There's the extra hole drilled right there. Interesting note, these lifters actually do have oil through capability. They've got the holes through them, but not used in this application. Here on number 4 rocker stand, you can see another little bit of debris. I can't quite tell if it was clamped in there or if it just kind of fell in there as I was removing the rocker shafts. I'm going to guess the latter. I'm going to hope the latter and move on. You know, on big blocks in the past, I've been able to pull lifters out through here with a magnet and a hook. Unfortunately, the way these heads are made, well, there isn't room. All they had to do was knock these pushrod holes out into the crankcase drain there and everything would have been fine, but no. Now I'm faced with a choice. Do I shim the rockers or do what I was talking about before and just grab stock valve gear for now to make this thing work? Or do I go deeper, pull the heads so I can pull the lifters and check? I could also pull the intake. Yeah, I could just pull the intake. Either of these operations requires draining the coolant. I don't know that I want to do that. And I may not like what I find. I think at this point it's not really worth opening the engine any further. I did find play up and down in tappets, but I did not find any that were just totally gone. So I'm going to say it's tappet bleed off. Hopefully none are flattened out. I think it's fine. And I'm going to sort out the rocker situation one way or another. Just a happy little lake of coolant. Now, I don't know everything, but I do know clamps work better when they're tight. And same with thermostat housing bolts, for that matter. Damn thing drew blood. Decided to pull the plug and take a look. Front one and rear one, tight as balls. Middle two, totally loose. Well, if Rich is safe, this thing's pretty much locked up in Fort Knox. All it's done the last 3 times I've run it is idled. So I imagine I need to lean the idles out a bit. These are also, well, they've been in there for a while, so it's hard to tell. It's not like we're getting a super accurate read, but I'll grab a set of fresh ones, put them in there, tune the idles, see what that looks like, and then go do a couple light pulls and see what that looks like, and then go floor it a few times and see what that looks like. Probably. Or I'll forget all about it and just keep driving it. I have not touched these plugs yet. Do you see what I see? Hey, that one ain't in the hole. Good news, everyone. I think I found the noise. If this would focus. Are you gonna focus? Yeah. See that little, oh, come on. Well, anyway, there's a hole torched through the threads. It wasn't cross-threaded, it's just loose. Okay, well, it beats the alternative. Oh, and I'm still bleeding. What the heck? There's actually notable exhaust staging around its mate, too, which makes sense. Well, yeah, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I found the rocker arm stuff, too. That needed to be addressed. But, yeah, I think this is my noise. Sounded like a valve noise, but exhaust does that sometimes. This guy's wet. Smells fuel-y. It's an almost brand new engine and a new set of heads, so it shouldn't be anything else. But I suppose it's possible. All right, I gotta go find a Band-Aid or something. Maybe an English muffin. Well, I suppose that does it for this episode. Next time, we'll put it back together, see what it does, maybe eat lunch. Thanks for watching.